The 256 golfers who descended on Gullin number 1 for this year's Allied Surveyors Scottish Amateur Championship not only found a course in stunning condition, but one which was considerably longer than when the competition was last played here in 2004. Number 1 seed and runner-up in the British Amateur at Muirfield down the road just a few weeks ago, James Byrne, was cautious about his prospects this week. He may be the number 1 seed, but his record in the Scottish Amateur is not good.
I don't like to look too far ahead in this tournament. I want to win it, but in terms of my progression through the tournament, it's just going to be one round at a time. I was seeded last year and went out. In fact, there's 4 or 5 seeds went out first round, so it's safe to say the seeding in this tournament is not really that important. Anybody can beat you on a given day.
Indeed, match play can throw up some surprises, but it was going to take something special to beat Byrne this week. This his tee shot in his last 16 match, here at the first, over 300 yards onto the green before rolling in a putt for an eagle 2. It was the match of the round, which Byrne won narrowly on the last, beating the in-form Alan Dick to progress, all the way to the semi-finals, where indeed it was another magnificent performance, but just not enough to get him into the final. Another man carrying the weight of expectation this week, last year's champion David Law. We caught up with David to see how his year has been since winning the title in Royal Troon 12 months ago.
The last 12 months have been a wee bit frustrating. I've had a couple of injuries, and when you're injured like that, it's hard to get any momentum going. And I feel like I'm a better player, this time round than I was last year. I just need to get a wee run of tournaments going and a bit of form under my belt, I think.
Law had a good run over the week, making a spirited defence of his title before eventually losing out to this man here, Liam Johnson, in the last 16. Jordan Finlay from Fraserburgh was a golfer whose form had dipped over the last few years since winning the British Boys title back in 2004. But with the help of coach Bob Torrance, he has shown a recent remarkable turnaround in form. Indeed, he shot a 66 on Friday afternoon to beat number 1 seed James Byrne, which included 2 birdies at the last 2 holes to close out the victory, and book his place in Saturday's 36-hole final. His opponent was Troon Welbeck's Michael Stewart, a man who himself had shown some remarkable form in the week running up to the final, like this bunker shot here on the 7th and his last 16 tie against Jamie Mackay. And early on Saturday morning, indeed on the first green here, it looked as if both players were going to carry on their hot form into the final. Jordan Finlay rolling in a putt for a birdie 3 to go 1 up. The final was played in a very relaxed atmosphere between these two. They know each other well, having been teammates for the Scottish boys team and also for East Tennessee State University. This perhaps brought the best out in their game in tough conditions. Findlay here nearly holing his second, the approach at the 17th, and Michael Stewart with this putt for a birdie 3 on 18 to go 4 up at the halfway stage. Findlay fought back quickly though after lunch, winning the first and second, meaning that Stewart was only 2 up. But the lead was never less than that, and indeed, here on the par 5 12th, the 30th hole of the day, Stewart rolled in this eagle 3 putt to go back to 4 up. Findlay's head didn't go down though, and on the very next tee, the par 3 13th, he knocked up this impressive tee shot to fight right back, holding the putt for a 2 and making the deficit 3. But despite being diagnosed with the shingles just a week ago, Michael Stewart was a man who is at the very top of his game. 3 up with 3 to play, this was his tee shot at the 16th. By now attracting golfers from the other 2 courses at Gullin into joining the spectators, Stewart knew that he had a downhill putt of about 6 feet to take the title and win the Allied Surveyors Scottish Amateur Championship 2010. A fantastic victory against a good friend and worthy opponent, magnanimous in defeat.
He played really good golf, I played well, he played well, and he just got a few more putts than I did.
and despite the defeat in the final, still positive about his current form and his prospects.
I've been good pretty much since May this year. I felt like I was good before. I was playing well before then. It wasn't quite happening, but it's starting to come together now, and I think this week should propel me forward even more.
And indeed, off the back of his performance, Findlay has now been called up to the senior squad for Scotland for the first time in his career. But what about his teammate? How does it feel to win the title?
It feels unbelievable, to be honest. It hasn't really sunk in yet what's actually just happened, but it's feeling pretty special. It's a special win.
A special win, but certainly not an easy one.
Jordan never gave me a hole all day. He made me win holes and I made him win holes, so it was a great final. Jordan and I had been good friends for a number of years now, so there wasn't any tension between us or anything like that, so it was just a nice game to play in and a nice game to be a part of, to be honest. It's always nice to finish on a birdie. Just having a putt to win is always special.
So congratulations to Michael Stewart, 2010 Ally Severe's Scottish Amateur Champion.